Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of Game and Discuss. I'm Keto, and our topic today is the deniers of truth. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. But before we get to it, we have an announcement. First, we will be back with some more Dead by Daylight gameplay. Secondly, I apologize for the lack of videos recently. With school and work, it's been hard to pump out new content for you guys. In fact, a lot of this content is pre-recorded. I'm recording this one on February 1st, and I do not know when exactly you guys will see it. So I started trying to do more generalized topics instead of like topics in the now, because I can't record at school because a lot of reasons. But let's get right into the video. So when I mean the deniers of truth, there's a couple examples I think of, and this topic is actually brought up to me by one of my friends, and it is very interesting because you see it all the time. Like for example, despite all of the enormous evidence that we have, there will always be people who deny that and just say, oh yeah, the earth is flat. Despite what they find, what everyone finds to be true, and say, yeah, the earth is a you know, sphere, you know, ish shape. But everyone will go like, so not everyone, well, pause. These flat earthers will sit here and deny that fact, and it makes you wonder, like, why, despite all of the enormous evidence that you have and you can see every single day, why think anything different? And I think that's a very interesting idea, because you can't, normal people can't find a logical reasoning behind it, and that sucks. Like, it's really odd, and I don't know. There's a couple examples of this out in the wild, but that's the biggest one is probably flat Earth and vaccines. Vaccines are a really big one. Like, despite all the mountains of evidence that we have that say vaccines are, you know, chill, good for you, safe, all that sort of stuff, there will always be somebody who says they cause this or these side effects. You don't know, when it's like there's been mountains upon mountains of research about the same topic. Why would millions of people, one, you have to get millions of people to lie and keep a secret. Two, why? It doesn't make any sense for you know, everything we like going on. And the other things, like the government tracking, like with those vaccines, I promise you, I absolutely promise you, the government does not care enough to track every single one of your movements. That's like a severe case of like centrism. I don't think that's the right word, but like maybe like huge ego type thing. I don't know the exact word I want to use for that. However, but it's just like, why it doesn't make sense for the government to be like, oh yes, we absolutely need to know what John Sanders is doing right now. It's just so important that we need to know this, and like, we have to plant this tracker in him. We just can't. But you just have to think, like, sorry, one moment, just take a drink. You just have to think, like, what could possibly make someone just start believing something like that? Like, how do you just go, oh my god, oh, stop. Sorry, I didn't use line. But, what goes on to think, like, oh yes, like, this, like, these millions of people, regular people, by the way, like, these are not, like, government employees. These are regular guys, you know, you see every day, doing research on this, and now they're, I'm gonna take that. But now you just have to get them to lie about this research for whatever reason. I can't understand it. To say, oh, another thing, like the moon landing. There will always be people who deny the moon landing. And it's like, oh, well, like, how was the Cape moving, all this, the flag, Cape, the flag moving and all this sort of stuff, blah, 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 blah. So you think we got, like, what? So much, like, there's so many people working on that project to get it out from NASA. So many. You think you can get every single one of those people to lie? And not a single one just be like, yeah, no, that shit was fine. This shit was fake as fuck. And this is how we did it. Like, and it makes sense. No, because it's hard to get millions of people to lie for a cause like that. It just doesn't make sense. But there will always be people who sit there and try their hardest to deny that. Like, it doesn't make logical sense. Like, you sit there and think about that, like, it doesn't make logical sense. Another big one, I think it's more suffering up now, is like, oh, the 9/11 Texas, like, stayed around the demolition. No, I cannot. Like, oh, did you know that steel doesn't, jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel? That would be really good evidence if there wasn't a plane that just smashed into the towers. So it's like, why? You can't believe these type of things. You sit there and, like, think for a moment. Like, huh, this doesn't exactly make logical sense to be thinking this. It literally, if you used your brain for a little bit and just, like, sat down with all of the facts, you would know that this is wrong. It just can't happen. And it's just so weird to think about that there are so many people who, despite everything, like, literally everything in their that all of the evidence, the millions of, like, reports of this stuff, that it's just wrong. And it's like, how? You know? If someone has any ideas, please enlighten me, because it was something I can't wrap my head around it, you know. But that was it for today. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this. We do playthroughs over the summers, so we'll have a game playthrough. We'll have to decide what that is. I'll probably do a vote on my TikTok, which you should go follow. The link is in the bio. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. The link is in my bio. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.